Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Living Wisdom with Deanna, where we just talk about life and spirit and the journey of returning to ourself and wholeness and love and just really reconnecting with the source within us. So today, what I wanted to talk about is something that's been very potent on my journey lately, and hopefully it connects with all of you too out there, because we are all collective and we're not alone, you know. That's one of the main things, I guess, was, this morning just doing some journaling and recognizing that for most of my life I have felt like I had to do things on my own, and that feeling of not feeling supported, that feeling of not feeling like you have, someone or some force at your back stabilizing you and helping you feel like you can fly, you know? And so possibly this may resonate with others, I'm sure it does. And just that feeling, that sense of, wanting support, wanting to feel connected while also perhaps simultaneously being scared of what happens if you do put yourself out there, for support. And a lot of times that comes from, at least in my case, being a child and perhaps asking for something, whether that was emotionally or, uh, you know, attention from someone, and not feeling like we were seen and really paid attention to maybe in the way that we needed. And so with that, that creates these belief systems of like, oh, well, I guess I'm not really worth it. Maybe other people are more important than I am. And then I found in my case that I wasn't, paying attention to myself enough. I found myself, sort of brushing my skills and talents under the rug and focusing more on others. And so when that happens, it can be very painful and sad because we've rejected ourselves on a level that is just self love. So we've rejected the most beautiful parts of ourselves because at a young age we didn't get that importance, or that we were important, reflected back to us. And I obviously know that all the people in my life love me tremendously. And it doesn't have to do with that as much as it does with finding the journey of finding our own love within and recognizing that that is what we've been searching for. That's what I've been searching for, is the approval from myself, and the activity or the paying attention to my gifts and seeing the value in them and valuing myself and showing myself the attention and care and love that I wanted, that I needed, and recognizing, what kind of sabotaging behaviors have been supporting the belief systems that I'm not important. So, just thinking of an example for me, probably just negative self talk of like, oh, what makes you think you can do this, or just those voices that say, you're not good enough, or thinking almost that other people are doing it way better, and like you could never compare. Always viewing yourself as sort of less than what you see in the outside world, and it's just not true. And it's just that reflection of the feelings that are already inside. So that's been a huge part of my journey these past, few weeks, days. And so to move through this, to heal, I am taking so much time to, like, for example, I like to paint. That's one of my paintings back there. So I am walking around each one of my paintings and saying, wow, that looks amazing. And sharing all the things that I really love about the painting that I've created. And just really lifting myself up for what I love to do, like the special skills and talents that I have, my special gifts. For example, I like working with plants and making concoctions or medicines. So I was saying, wow, look at, the beautiful rosemary water that you just made. That's so special and important, and that's so valuable, and I'm so proud of you. And really talking to my younger self, I'm big on connecting with our inner child because that's something that's been integral to my healing process. So I connect with the younger version of myself, my inner child, and I tell her, you're doing wonderful, you're doing a great job, I'm so proud of you. And, being that support, being that loving guardian for the younger versions of ourselves, because when we think about our younger self and how pure and innocent and beautiful and loving we are and joyous, would we want the younger version of us to receive all of the negative self-talk that we give ourselves, or to cling on to those negative belief systems and really believe that you're worth nothing? Is that what we would want for our inner child? And the answer is, of course, unequivocally no. We want to lift ourselves up. We want to be the radiant beings that we are, and share our gifts. And in order to do that, in order to share our gifts, we have to feel supported. We have to feel like, first, we are our own number one fan. We are our own cheerleader. We are our own best friend. We are our own support system. And coming back around to what I first brought up when I talked about the topic, remembering we are a part of this connected universe. We are a part of nature. And so receiving that support from our interconnectedness, so whether you feel comfortable asking the support of a cherished friend, or if you just, pray, set intentions for support to come in some form, because we are all connected, and everything is one consciousness, everything is us. And if we put out that call, then there is someone or something, some event, some energy that wants to come in and support us. It's the give and take of the universe. It's the giving and receiving. As we breathe in and breathe out, if we want to receive support at some time, there is some force out there that wants to give that support to us. And so, but first we have to recognize what's going on inside of us. First we have to be open to receiving our own support so that we're even a match for that energy to come in, because if we say, oh, I want support so much, but yet we're not giving it to ourselves, we're not open to receiving it, when it shows up, we won't feel like we're worthy, so it starts within each of us, our own self, our own process of loving who we are, loving our embodiment in this, lifetime, in this time and space. We showed up as who we are, as these certain, beings, whether that's male or female, and whatever gifts and skills we chose to embody at this time. They're special, they're unique. And so embracing that and letting it shine and recognizing our worth and our value, just because we are beings of beauty, just because we have uniqueness and gifts to share. And I think really remembering that everything we need is inside of us already. So our wisdom, I think we're taught a lot of times like the conundrum of sort of like college degrees and certificates and all of those things, but really life is the wisdom giver, and there are things that we have inherently within us to share. And if we can just share our wisdom that we know we are meant to without being afraid of, what happens if I don't have a certificate, or what happens if I, don't feel like I have the credentials to do this, with some certain exceptions, within society, we can share our heart's wisdom in any way that we feel called, and our inner child, our inner heart, our higher self, the future us, our soul that's connected totally. I mean, we're always connected to the one consciousness, but our soul wants to share. The true, authentic us wants to share who we are, but first we have to feel supported. So, yeah, I'm just sending anyone love who is also experiencing this. I realize that, what we experience individually is something that's being experienced in the collective consciousness, and something that humanity is moving through as a whole. So I am just praying for all to remember their unique authenticity, for each one of you beautiful sparks of God's source, a spark of creation, to remember how loved that we are here, and that we have beautiful gifts that the world wants to hear. The world needs our gifts. And first, it's so important to find love within ourselves, and to cherish ourselves, and to pay attention to ourselves. Give yourself the gift of, what happens if I totally 100,000,000% just love and adore myself, in every way, in everything I do? What happens if I support myself? The world becomes a better place, right? Because we're able to be in eternal love within, and sharing our gifts with the world, therefore making the world a better place. So I intend that for all of you who are ready and who are embracing, this wisdom that I am also moving through. So we're not alone here, never. Uh, so yeah, let's just end this together with some deep breaths, and let's just set the intention to just breathe in source energy to support us, to refill us. So we're breathing in source love. So taking deep breaths in. And I like to imagine sometimes that I'm like a tree, so I'm breathing it in from the branches, breathing source love, and then extending it down into the roots and into the earth. And remembering we are always resourced with source energy. We are connected. We are one. All right. So sending you love from my heart, and I wish you the most beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.